Good morning, children. Welcome to today's online class. Once again, I am here to take chapter 3rd of the history. And in the previous chapter, that the changing pattern, in that chapter, I taught you about that India was divided into many small kingdoms between the year 1000 to 1200. But after the 1200, the Turk established a powerful kingdom around Delhi in North India. And this kingdom came to be known as the Delhi Sultanate, and its rulers extended their control partially over the whole of India. The word Sultan means rule in Arabic, hence Sultanate means kingdom. So in this chapter, I am going to tell you about how the Turk Sultan established in their kingdom in Delhi. Muhammad Ghori. In those days, Afghanistan, a country to the northwest of India, was divided into many small kingdoms that were ruled by sultans from Turkey. During that time, Afghanistan is a country to the northwest of India, and they were ruled by the sultan from Turkey. These Turk sultans were constantly at war with each other just to expand their territory. And among them was a Muhammad Ghori. He was the sultan of the small principality of Ghor. Put underline over here. He tried to expand his empire into Iran. Just like a other ruler, he too wanted to expand his empire into Iran, but he was defeated by the Shah of Khurasan, a kingdom in eastern Iran. And during that time, he had not any alternate but to turn his attention eastward towards India. So when he was defeated by Shah of Khurasan, he turns toward the India. So Ghori conquered Multan in the Punjab region, and then he attacked towards the Gujarat. But during that time also, Gujarat was a very prosperous and powerful kingdom because of its sea trade, as it was situated beside the sea. So due to the sea trade only, it was very prosperous. अच्छा पैसे थे वहाँ. And its Chalukya king Bhim defeated him in battle. And when Ghori comes toward the Gujarat, during that time he was defeated by Chalukya king Bhim. The Turk Sultan then decided to first gain control over Punjab because the rulers of the Punjab were not so powerful, and gradually established his hold over Punjab, which brought him to the border to Prithviraj Chauhan's kingdom. So now, after conquering Punjab, he have next target to conquering Delhi. Prithviraj Chauhan III. In those days, the Rajput king Prithviraj Chauhan ruled over Delhi and Ajmer. Like Ghori, Prithviraj also powerful and ambitious and wanted to expand his empire. So everyone want to expand his empire. And he too attacked Gujarat, but he was also defeated by King Bhim. Then he turned his attention to the kingdom in the east, but again failed to conquer them. So, after defeated again and again, he was left with only one alternative, that is to march towards the Punjab. And naturally, if he want to conquer over the Punjab, he have to face with the Ghori on the battlefield, as Ghori already conquered the Punjab. So, the Battle of Tehran. Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj faced each other on the battlefield at a place called Tehran in the year 1191. Children, those who having textbook, please put underline over here that Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj first time faced battlefield at the place called Tehran in the year 1191. And Prithviraj Chauhan emerged the victor, and Ghori was grievously wounded in the battle. He was truly wounded, but he escaped from there. He spent a year preparing for the next battle, but as he escaped from there, after escaping from there, he spent a year to preparing himself again to faced Prithviraj Chauhan at Tehran in 1192. Prithviraj has a great large army consisting of infantrymen and a many elephant and horses. Comparison to Muhammad Ghori, Prithviraj had a very large army, and several smaller rulers as well Fajals also joined him in battle. And Ghori's army was much smaller and they don't have any elephants. But he had swifter horse and his cavalrymen were adept at shooting arrow while riding. It means you can say that Muhammad Ghori had a very tactful army. When Ghori's horsemen attacked elephant of Prithviraj, then the elephant started running backwards and started to attacking their own army. So here the Prithviraj army used to take help of their brain, a part of their bravery. They attacked the elephant and stamped them. So instead of the attack on the people, they used to attack on the animals. And the Rajput king tasted defeat in the second battle. So as Ghori has taken good tactics of the war, so the Rajput king defeated in the second battle. So after the Battle of Tehran, the Turk established their rule over Delhi, replacing the Rajputs. So Ghori's generals quickly brought the whole of North India under his control. So the question was here, what are the regions of Turk's success? And that I'm going to teach you in the next class. So this is all about for today. So rest of the chapter I'm going to explain in the next class. Thank you.